Guys, today I'm trying out the whole space bun thing. I don't really think it works for me. I know some people that can really pull it off, but I don't really think I can pull it off, but we're working with it. So today is really exciting because I'm going to be talking about the Kylie Cosmetics, the Royal Peach Palette. So this bad boy right here. And if you guys have not seen, I do have a giveaway where I'm giving one of these fantastic palettes away. So I'll link that down below. It's probably like the last video I uploaded. So yeah, you guys will definitely have to check that out. But today I'm going to be talking all about this palette right here. I do have it on my eyes today. I did use the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette a little bit, but for the most part, it's just completely this palette except for like one shade from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. But yeah, so I'm going to be talking about this bad boy. So this is just what the outside packaging looks like. It just has her eyes with some of the shadows obviously on her eyes. And then the back, it just has Kylie pressed powder eyeshadow, and then it has all of the color names. And then right here in the blue it says the Royal Peach Palette. Okay, so let's open it up and I will show you guys what it looks like. So across here it literally just says Kylie, and it has that like reflective whatever I'm trying to say. And then on the back it's like pretty much the same as the other packaging. It just has the shades right here, you know, the ingredient list, and then Kylie XOXO. Okay, and then so whenever you open it up, it does have a little mirror right here. I don't want to blind you guys. It does have like a little mirror right here, which is nice. And then it says Kylie, and then it has the shades, and then also the little brush. I haven't used the brush yet. I actually want to look at it real quick. I haven't used the brush yet though. I don't know why, but I haven't. It's nice. Not a bad brush. Feels nice. The hairs on mine kind of look a little crazy though. But yeah, so it comes with the brush, which I like that. I thought that was pretty cool that it came with the brush because none of the other ones do. But yeah, so this is like the paper, you know, just like the cardboard type of box packaging. So yeah, it's not like the most amazing packaging ever, but you know, you get what you pay for. Which, I mean, this is a pretty expensive palette in the sense that you're getting cardboard, whereas if you buy the actual Sweet Peach palette, you are getting, you know, like an actual sturdy box, or like an actual sturdy palette that's probably not going to break or anything, which this probably really isn't going to break, but it is just cardboard when you come down to it. So, yeah, so that is what the packaging looks like. I mean, the packaging is not bad, but I do think that it's kind of poor quality, to be honest with you, just because, like, whenever you fill it, it feels, like, kind of flimsy to me. So, yeah, the packaging's not that great, in my opinion. I mean, it's kind of sleek. I like how it says Kylie on there, and it's just like I like how sleek it looks, but just whenever it's, like, cardboard, I wish she would have, I don't know, went with a little bit of a like more sturdy of a packaging, I guess. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of talk about the shades, I guess. Well, actually, we're gonna talk about like probably the big elephant in the room. I feel like everybody and their brother has talked about the smell. Yes, I feel like everyone's talking about the smell. When I first got it, I noticed it, but it wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't like a huge thing to me, but whenever I like started reading it and everything, I was just like, yeah, you know, I mean, they're kind of right. It does smell like that. So the smell it has a very chemical smell, like a very chemical smell. I don't know, I can't put my like exact finger on like what the smell is. It reminds me of my grandpa's shop. He had like a fiberglass shop and he made cars and stuff, and so that's what it smells like to me. It's kind of a combination between paint and the like Sharpie, like the big Sharpie like markers, like the ones that like really smell. It's like a combination of those two scents to create this chemical smell. Now, in saying that, it does not bother me for the simple fact that it's kind of like a memory, you know? It's kind of like reminiscent of my grandpa's shop. So it doesn't bother me a ton in the sense that like when I smell it, it kind of like brings back memories. But I definitely think that this is a smell that is going to just make a lot of people mad. A lot of people are going to be very upset about it. I haven't watched any videos, but I did last night. I went and I searched for like the Kylie Royal Peach Palette, and almost every single title had in it like smells bad or the Kylie Cosmetics smell. Like it had something about the smell in the title. So I can definitely tell you that people are not happy about that, and like, I mean, I'm not happy about it either, just because whenever I smell that chemical smell in my makeup, I'm kind of like, should I put that on my face if it smells like that? Because, like, is this just straight chemicals? Like, is this just straight chemicals that I'm putting on my face? So it does kind of worry me that it smells like chemicals, just because it shouldn't smell like chemicals, you know? So I don't really know what's going on there. I don't know. I definitely, if I was her, I definitely wouldn't have launched that. I wouldn't have launched this before I got that taken care of, just because I feel like it looks bad on her company in the sense that it looks like you're just using straight chemicals, and like you're just using chemicals, and it's like, which I understand, to create makeup, you know, you gotta use some chemicals and stuff, can't use really good stuff, but I just feel like it does not look good on this palette that it smells like chemicals. So I don't know. I don't know if there was like a problem with it or something and it wasn't supposed to smell like chemicals, but I don't think I ever would have released it if it smelled like this, just in my opinion, because the smell is very, very strong. Like, as soon as you open up the palette, you could probably even smell it outside of the box. As soon as you open up, it just kind of hits you in the face. It does go away after you like apply it and everything and you shut it, but whenever you have the palette open, you're gonna smell that smell. But like I said, after you shut it and, you know, you put the palette away, the smell does go away. But it is strong. It is very strong, and a lot of people are going to have a problem with that, which I totally understand, because, you know, it's one of those smells that's probably going to give you a headache. It really is. It doesn't give me a headache. It does make me feel a little bit nauseous after a while, because I feel like I probably shouldn't be smelling that in, and so it does make me feel a little bit nauseous after a while. But I definitely, I don't think I would have released this palette whenever it smelled like that. But that's just my opinion on it. Maybe some people smell it and they don't have a problem with it, but it is probably going to end up giving you a headache after a while, just because it is so strong. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and swatch all the colors just right here on my arm. You know, I'm trying out a lip product for you guys, so that's why I have this swatch here. I'm trying to see how long it will last, and that's what I have on my lips today. It's like the Lip Sense lip product stuff. So I'm trying it out and seeing how long it will last. But anyway, I'm just going to swatch it right here on the back of my arm, and let you guys, you know, see what the colors look like and stuff. And then I will kind of talk about the colors after I get done swatching them. Okay, so I swatched them out on my arm, which I wish I would have done it differently, because whenever you have it flat like this, you know, you can see them, but whenever you twist your arm, you can't really see them that way. Well, so I didn't think that through very well, but this is what the colors look like swatched on the back of my hand. I think you can definitely tell, especially with this shade right here, which is called Royal, which is kind of like the shade. I feel like this blue shade right here is kind of the shade of the whole entire palette. That's what kind of what she centered the whole palette around, in the sense that it has that color on this and it is on the cover of the box, and it's not there. Like, you can just tell looking at it that the pigment is just, it's really seriously lacking in that color. Whenever I got it in the mail last week, I was just kind of swatching it on my hands, and my niece was over here, and like, I was just looking through them and stuff, and she like pointed to that blue shade, and she's like, that doesn't look anything like what's in that. And like, she's 6, and she was even able to tell that this color is not what is in the palette. Like, you can just tell that the pigment is just lacking in that color, like especially that color. And that's like kind of what the whole entire palette I feel is centered around, just because that's the color that she chose to kind of, you know, make that like the center of the, you know, make that the center of the palette. And so I definitely, that quality and that shade is just absolutely horrible. It doesn't blend out nicely. I don't like the way it looks at all. So no, I definitely would not have, if I was going to choose a color to kind of be the center of a palette, I definitely would make sure at least that color is up to par, and I just don't think that it is, as you can tell. I feel like it's kind of crappy right there. As for the other shades, it's kind of a toss-up in the quality of them. Like Seashell is actually like a pretty good, like it makes a pretty good swatch. I will say I do have it on my lids today. It doesn't pack on as well with the brush. In order to really get that pigment, you have to use your finger and kind of like dab it on with your finger. But that's, I mean, that's with some shadows. So that one is a pretty good color. What was another one? This Queen Bee isn't bad. It is a little chalky whenever you try to blend it out, but it's not bad. I will say though that Duchess, this color right here, as you can tell, well, I don't know if you can really tell, but I know in person the swatch is absolutely horrendous. It's very, very chunky, and it just, like, the chunks of glitter is just kind of, I don't know, it's just very chunky, and it's not a good shade at all. I've only played around with it a little bit, but from what I could tell, it was very just chunky, and it didn't look good, and there was a lot of fallout with that glitter. The shade that really made me want to buy this palette is Mojito, which is this green shade right here, and that's really kind of what made me want to buy it. I really like just having that green shade to put underneath on my lower lash line, and it seems like just green colors like that really makes my eyes pop. I have hazel eyes, and so it just really brings out like the green color in them. And so I like to have this kind of shade to put underneath on my lower lash line, and so I thought that this would be like a really pretty color to do that, and so that's kind of why I bought this palette, mainly for that color. And to be honest with you, I'm pretty disappointed in that color, because I don't know if you can tell, but the swatch just isn't very good. There's not a whole lot of color there. It's just, it was very disappointing, because this is really, it was really what I wanted. That swatch is a pretty good one, which I got quite a bit of product there. But it was just really disappointing, and I do have it on my lower lash line, but it took a lot of product to really pack in there for you to actually be able to see the color on my lower lash line. So I was pretty disappointed in that. And hopefully that was recording, but my mom called me, and I think I accidentally like hit the wrong button, and hopefully I didn't just delete all that footage, because I'd be really sad. But anyway, let's get back into this video. But yeah, that North Star shade, I was extremely disappointed in that, because whenever you look at it in the palette, it looks so beautiful, and then it just does not transfer. It doesn't actually transfer that whenever you use it. Like, it's right there, and it's just kind of dull and like lacking, to be honest with you. So I don't know. Same with Crush, which is right next to it. It was kind of lacking too. The pigment wasn't really there. So to be honest with you, I have to say that I'm very, very deeply disappointed in this palette. I kind of tossed around if I should get this palette or if I should get the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Like, I know whenever the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette first came out, I was like, I have to have it, I need it. And then after a while, I was like, no, it's okay. And then whenever it came out again, I was like, I need it, like, I need it. And then I saw that this one was coming out, and so I was like, okay, I'll wait, and then I'll decide. And so I went ahead and took the plunge, mainly for Mojito, for that shade, because I thought it was just going to be so beautiful. So I went ahead and took the plunge and got this one instead of that one. But to be honest with you, I'm so disappointed in this palette that I will probably go ahead and purchase the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, just because the shades looked so pretty and so gorgeous, and I thought I was going to get a better palette out of this one rather than that one. Even though I absolutely love, like, I love the Too Faced eyeshadows. They're like probably my favorite eyeshadows ever. Like, probably my favorite eyeshadows. But I just thought, like, I was going to get some more unique colors out of this palette rather than that one. And that just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. Like, these shades are honestly kind of mediocre to me. They're not that great, and I feel like if this was by any other brand, like say if this was like a BH Cosmetics brand, I don't think anybody would purchase it because the shades are they're just lacking. And so if it was like a cheap brand like that, people would be like, just no, don't even waste your money on it. But because it's Kylie, I think that that's why people are, you know, spending their money on it, because they think it's going to be in that quality with the rest of her shadows, and it just wasn't there. At least in my opinion. I don't know, maybe I got like a really crappy one. I don't think so. I think a lot of people are having this problem, but I would just recommend saving your money. If you are really wanting to go with that peach look, then I would probably go for like the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette versus this one, just because I think the quality is really going to be there, just like the normal Too Faced eyeshadows rather than this one. So yeah, that's my review on this Kylie, the Royal Peach palette. I wasn't a big fan of it. I was just really disappointed in just all the shades, because they weren't really there. And like, there are shades that do blend out very, very nicely, but for the most part, most of them do not, and so that's kind of like disappointing. Like, I do have on Sandy on my, I have Sandy and Seashell on my lid. Seashell's on my lid, and then Sandy is in my crease. And Sandy blended out tremendously. It blended out fantastically. It is a matte shade, so that could be why it blended out so nicely, just because it is completely matte, and so you didn't have to deal with that glitter or anything. But the rest of the shades just aren't that great. And like I said with Seashell, I had to apply it with my finger just because whenever I put a brush into it, it just kind of like diffused the product, and like there was kind of like no product there. So yeah, that is my opinion on this palette. I would just go ahead and save your money or go with the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, which I think I'm going to go with just because I fell in love with the palette whenever it first came out. The colors were so beautiful, and I was like, I need it. And then I talked myself out of it, and I talked myself into this one instead, but I still think that I really want to go for that palette. So that is my opinion of this palette. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you wanted to turn this into a drinking game, just literally take a drink every single time I say palette, because you would be drunk within the first 2 minutes of the video. Like, seriously, I don't think I could have said it anymore. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys!